One thing I've always prided myself on is being technologically savvy. I love new technology, especially things that can make travel easier and more convenient for us. Modern tech moves at breakneck speeds these days, and keeping up can be overwhelming. I can set up my own computer. I know my way around the features of my smartphone, and I use video editing software and so on. One piece of technology I have not embraced yet or even tried is the eSIM. For some reason or another, I have trust issues with them. Whether this is true or unfounded, I don't really know, but I'm going to find out. I've seen plenty of people complain about them not working, that the Wi-Fi speed is slow, that the customer service from the companies is bad. The last thing I want for Beck and I when we arrive in a new country is to find out that our eSIMs are not working. I don't want to have to wander around the airport looking lost, looking to buy a SIM. I don't want to have to go out on the street straight away and find a teleco provider to get a SIM. I want the data working as soon as I walk off the plane. So up till now, I've shown my age and continue to use hard SIMs in our phones when travelling. If you are like us, a little older and a little bit apprehensive about using an eSIM, well, this video is definitely for you. We have a short 5 days coming up in Bali, Indonesia, which seems like the perfect opportunity to try out an eSIM. It actually makes me feel comfortable because I know plenty of places in Bali I can go and buy a hard SIM if the eSIM doesn't work. In the past, like most couples, one person does all the organising, and that's me. So previously, I've always just jumped on eBay and been able to buy us a travel SIM easily. Generally, you can grab a SIM for a country or a region of adjoining countries for around $20 to $30 Australian, and that will have something like 10 gig of data that you can use over 30 days or so, which makes it bloody easy. Combine this with free Wi-Fi at your hotel, and it's always plenty of data. We've used this method so much that we have those little pins that open your SIM tray on your mobile phone attached to our backpack on a keyring for easy access at all times. Once at the airport before departure, we usually just pop out our home SIMs and pop in our travel SIMs so that we'll be ready to go as soon as we land.
So we land in Bali in a few days' time, and I need to get an eSIM organised for our trip to Bali. Let's search eSIM Bali. So we come up with, once again, Holify, Klook, Agoda, Air Arlo, Saily. So I've heard of Air Arlo before, and I've heard of Saily, so I'm going to have a bit of a look at what they have to offer. Or Airlo, I think it's called. Yeah, Air Arlo. Let's have a look at Air Arlo. What have they got to offer us? Where are we? Air Arlo. Okay, let's check out what their prices are. Where are we? Air Arlo. How it works. Where do I need an eSIM for? Let's put in Bali, Indonesia. Okay, so an Indonesian eSIM is, what do we got? We're there for 5 days, so I can get 3 gig for 17 days, for 7 days, sorry, for $14 AUD, or I can get 5 gig for $20 AUD. Okay, so that sounds like a decent price. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at Saily, see what they've got. Okay. Saily. Where are we? Affordable data. Search a destination. Bali, Indonesia. So, what have we got here? So theirs is 5 gig over 30 days for $13.99 US, which is around $20. So what was this one? 5 gig for $20. So they're both of a similar price. So I guess it just depends from there which one I'm going to choose. I've heard good things about both, but I also had a friend who's used Saily and can personally recommend it. So I'm going to go with Saily. What I'll have to do is I have to go and get the app now and download it on my phone. And from there, I can sign up and choose my plan that I want to choose. So I think I'm going to get the 5 gig for $20. That should get me through 5 days. It's only 1 gig a day. I am a pretty heavy user of the internet, so all I can hope is that it's as simple as what they say it is. In my phone, there's a setting in data connections. It says turn on the eSIM, so I guess I've just got to download the app, and then Saily downloads an eSIM into my phone. When I get to Indonesia, I should just be able to click over to the eSIM, and it should actually start using the data. So I'm hoping it's as easy as what it sounds. So we'll see. I've done my planning for now. So when I get to Indonesia on Friday, I'll try and activate it, and I'll get back to you all and tell you if it's as simple as what everyone makes out this eSIM business to be, or whether I should have just got the usual guy we use in Bali. We use this guy in Bali called Andy Awesome. He's on Facebook, really good. What he does is he comes to your hotel, puts a hard SIM into your phone, and goes. And it's about $20 as well for about 25 gigs. So you get way more gig that way, but you've got to go and meet them in the lobby, hand over your passport, sit there for half an hour while they get your phone going, things like that. So it's a matter of convenience, I guess, in the end. And like I said at the start of this video, I've never used an eSIM before, so I've always been curious as to whether they work or not, because I think the eSIM would be very, very handy when you land in a country and you can just set it going, like without having to worry about going to buy a SIM, getting someone to put it in, having them record your passport details and stuff with the eSIM. It's just buy the plan, flick it on in your connections and hope that it works. So I'll get back to you in Bali on Friday and tell you how it's gone.
So what have I thought of the Saily eSIM that I've used for the very first time here in Bali? Well, it was really, really easy to buy and install. I just had to download the app, pick my plan, picked Indonesia. So the plans varied through amount of data that you needed, through the price that it was going to cost you to get the SIM. Pretty much all you had to do was hit install and it downloaded the eSIM on your phone for you, and from there it was ready to go. You just really had to go into your connection settings on your mobile phone and select Saily as your preferred SIM. So it really just selected it as just like your normal SIM, so not Wi-Fi, just your normal data SIM. So I was able to activate that fairly easy. You had to go into some settings and made sure you selected data roaming, which is a little bit strange because whenever you go overseas, you're always told not to select data roaming with your home SIM because it can incur a lot of charges if you're using your SIM from home overseas. That's where telecos get you with a nasty bill if you're on a plan sort of subscription. So once you sort of toggled on the data roaming, the SIM sort of worked straight away. At the start I had a little bit of an issue. I couldn't figure out really how to do that, but one thing I did do was I got straight on to Saily customer support, and their customer support online through their app was absolutely amazing. Answered my questions, walked me through it, kept checking whether it was all good, whether it was working, whether there was anything I needed to know. So in that retrospect, I can highly recommend using Saily. If you can't figure it out, they'll definitely help you and talk you through the whole process of using the eSIM. Now, what have I thought about the coverage from it? I'm going to say that it was pretty good. There's times where it says the network is not loading, which is really rare. So all I did was flick the network off and flick it back on, or hit the flight mode, because what happens if you hit flight mode on your phone, it resets your network, and then the Wi-Fi would work pretty easy from then on in. Was no problems for streaming YouTube, watching TikToks, recording videos. They would automatically upload to Google Photos, things like that. I did find it does chew through the data fairly quickly, so I'm not quite sure if that's usual or if that's just because you're using the eSIM. But in the end, I've really found it easy and convenient. It was really good just to be able to land in Bali and flick on the eSIM. I downloaded it prior to landing in Bali. We were in Kuala Lumpur, so I downloaded it the morning I was sitting at the airport in Kuala Lumpur. So then once I got to Bali, I could just turn it on. So In that retrospect, the convenience and ease of use is really good. I'll definitely use an eSIM again, especially for when I land. I still think it's pretty much price prohibitive if you want to use it long term. Like if you wanted data for a month, or you're a heavy data user like I am, like if you were wanting 10 or 20 gig, it'd easily cost you $50, $60, $70 for that sort of data over a month, whereas a hard SIM would be cheaper in that way. But one thing, like I said about the eSIM, is the convenience is way better. You don't have to line up at the airport, get someone to put your SIM in, fill in your details, all that sort of stuff. You just get online, download the app, activate Saily, and away you go. So I think I'm a bit of a convert. So like I said, I'll definitely be using the eSIMs again, because once you land, you can just flick it on. Makes it easy to book a grab, a taxi, transport, sort of get your bearings straight away without having to worry about finding data first and then do it. So from Mark here at Street Eats and Window Seats, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it, and don't forget TikTok and Instagram, you'll find us as well. So from Sanua, Bali, giving the thumbs up to the Saily eSIM, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.